Motorsport, put that thing in sports. Shout it bad, pop it like a court.
Hey, how's it going everybody? It is Strix here, and I'm gonna do a different type of video today. I'm gonna start off by saying I did not come up with this idea. Crispy Josh actually did come up with this idea, and I really enjoyed his video on it. His video link will be down in the description, but I really enjoyed how he put it together. Obviously, my video is not gonna be as good as his because I really do not have as much clips as he does. But I just figured I'd tell my story and how I started Ark, and how everything went down through now, I guess, or almost everything until now, because I obviously don't remember everything that happened step by step, but I'm going to try my best, and we'll start this out. So, it all started off back a few days after Ark Survival Evolved released. It released on December 17th or 16th, I believe, back in 2015 or 2016. I'm not positive. I believe it released in 2015, but don't quote me on that. But I started out on the server 158. We originally started out. I started out with a tribe. They were already somewhat built. I remember seeing a Bronto, and I was like, "Whoa, this thing's huge! Like, what is this?" And basically just learning the game, getting all the ropes down and everything. And eventually we decided to like split up. Me and three other guys made our journey to Red Ob. It took about a day to get there. All jokes aside, please do not laugh. I was learning the game. It took literally a day to get there, and we basically ended up settling somewhere over by Herb. I believe it was like some cliffside leading over to Green Ob, that river, and somewhere around that. We ended up settling there, and eventually, um, I made friends with a tribe that was building up near us, and we ended up just becoming friends with them. And after that, we ended up merging with them or merging them into us, and we sort of set out and started building on Herb, and I basically was kicked, and not exactly sure why to this day. Warp Spider 80, I will never forget that gamertag. That little fucker kicked me, and basically I found a behe. I killed a guy and got a behemoth gate, and he gave me the choice to either get my behemoth gate or get an RG, and yeah, that was basically it. We just fucked off from there, and I went my separate ways. And that was the story of 158 right there, and yeah. After splitting off from 158, I decided it would be best to be leader of my own tribe, so I started out on 52 with one of my friends named Kent Loose. We don't speak anymore, but you'll see why in an upcoming little clip. But we basically started up a tribe. We figured we would build where we built on 158, which was up here on the hill. You'll see that in the future. But we basically built up here. We figured it would be an awesome spot to build. Like, it was just everything we needed was there. Like, there was stone on the beach we could go pick up to make gates with. And this is basically, I started learning the ropes. I knew what I needed done, but I didn't think about auto turrets at the time. I really just focused on plants. And basically just a two-man tribe building up as we needed to do. We made friends with the alphas. We were like neutral with them, I guess you could say. And we made friends with a tribe that was built over where the snow met sand back before the snow update ended up coming out. This is where I built, by the way. Before the snow update ended up coming out, and we ended up merging with them. I basically left this base, and then all shit hit the fan. I eventually moved in with them, and then I was accused of blowing up the Alpha Tribe's, uh, I guess, brother's base or something. They were built where that white drop was, and out next to Snow Meets Sand on the left side of my screen now is where they were built, the Alpha Tribe. And I was basically invited to go take a tour of their prison. They had a really nice prison because there's a lot of trolls on the server. We would just go trap them. Trolls were a problem on the server, but we basically went around and went to their prison. It was built up in the snow. I brought my fur gear and everything, brought my long neck. And we went in the prison. It was a hella nice prison. All, like, even now, it was just fucking awesome. They had ACs, they had like the metal railings in there, just a bunch of prison cells. And I was KO'd, and I was just like, damn, dude, what the hell was that for? He's like, oh, I'm just giving you something for your trip over here. I don't remember exactly what he said, but yeah, he knocked me out, put me in a cell, and basically said, you were accused of blowing up the Alpha Tribe's brother's base, and I had to wait for the leader to get on. So I was like, damn. So I got off, went and played another game for a little bit, got back on, talked to the guy. It was like 5, 6 hours later, and he still wasn't on. And I was just like, fuck this. So I ended up killing myself, came back with a bunch of rockets and all my guys, and just basically blew up the entire prison, or at least some of it, what we could. But this was basically the story of 52. And after this, we figured we moved to the center, and that's why we basically said fuck it. And we ended up getting raided. They brought war Quetzals, Gigas. The war Quetzals had turrets because that was still a thing back in the day. But they basically brought everything they could and wiped us in a matter of seconds. We just were unclaiming dinos. We just said fuck it because we were going to the center at that point, and it was a fresh start. Alrighty, so server 41. We started off on server 41. I started off solo, originally thinking I was just going to build up solo with one of my guys, Kent Loose, like I talked about previously. He played with me on server 52. But basically server 41 was an amazing server. Like, there was two big tribes on it that could have merged into one, but they couldn't because due to tame limit. But they were built to the left of where I'm looking now. And Thunder was built right over there on this little island. They had a bridge crossing over the island, and it was absolutely awesome. So this was when Ark was like still new. This was back in 2016 around June or July or so. But I found this guy on the beach. I ended up recruiting him. I was like, "Hey, you want to join my tribe?" He was like, "Sure." But and then he went out and found another tribe mate, and his name was White Wolf. And basically, we just started building up as a three-man tribe. We ended up inviting Kent Lucen a few days after because he just was sick of getting wiped. He didn't want to play. I had to convince him, if that makes sense, just to come on back because you know it's Ark. You can't really leave the game. This game is literally everybody's favorite game. I don't care who you are. But we ended up building up under a four-man tribe. The guy that originally recruited White Wolf, he just never came back after the first day. He tamed a stego and just literally never came back. I don't know where he is now. I don't even remember his gamertag, but shouts out to you because White Wolf was pretty cool. We built up under a three-man tribe, and Kent Loose, he was just there. I mean, he really didn't do too much because he just didn't want to play. But me and White Wolf built up pretty well. We were friends with the Alpha Tribe, and this was when Death Squad was built on the server, Kabuxus and all them. If you guys ever heard of them, but they were on the server along with Ronan of Ark and Thunder, and we just basically built up next to this way bigger tribe than us, and just normal PvP experience. Just everything went down as it needed to go, and it was pretty cool overall. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun on this server. But one day after just shit went down, we were built up. We were friends with Savages on the server and Death Squad. We ended up going underwater one day to go look for a troll tribe that was built underneath in the water somewhere because they were just talking heavy shit. So we all hopped on a Moza and we all went underwater. And we ended up coming across the Alpha Tribe's base, which was Ronan of Ark. They had an underwater cave. And this is the clip from back in 2016, by the way. We ended up coming across their base, and I was like, they wanted to raid it, and I was like, no. So I just ended up leaving, and I was accused of raiding it with them, and they basically wiped me. It was just a fucked up situation, and that was basically the end of server 41. Alright, after 421, I ended up going to PvE. I know little Jimmy's down in the comments right now. Oh, you went to PvE, you scrub. I'm still better at PvP than all of you. I don't care. Try me. But we went to PvE for a bit, and we went to Prem plus PvE. I just didn't like the atmosphere. I just gave up on it. I mean, there was literally no point. We were just getting gigas for what? You know what I mean? Just building up. This was when school started, so obviously I figured out it would be best to go to PvE, but I just went to PvE just because I was sick of getting wiped, if that makes sense. And after that, I went to normal PvE after Prem Plus PvE, and that was on server 72 Legacy, and I just built up. We had a pretty big tribe, decent size, like 20 members, just having fun the way we just fucked around basically. And then I left PvE. I went over to PvE because we were invited to 421 because one guy joined the party, Burnt Toast. He joined the party and he just was like, I guess he knew a guy in the party, and we basically became friends from there. He invited us over to PvP, and we were like, hell yeah, let's just go. And we started off on PvE on 421, and we went over there. We started building. They were built on the iceberg. We were built on the archway on the iceberg, and really don't remember all the details. There's a hell of a lot of things that went on. A few days after we started building up on 421, we went over to 960 because the alphas over there, immortals / wardens, were threatening to wipe everybody if they didn't donate wyverns or stuff to do boss fights. So we ended up wiping them. As you guys can see, there's a little thumbnail for you. And I don't know, just a ton of wars, dude. Like 421 was just so much fun. We were under faction. We went over to we ended up getting built up enough to where we can fend off what we wanted. And then basically everything was legit, and then duping came along. Duping, as you guys can see on the screen, this is definitely not legit. Everybody claimed to be legit, but nobody was legit. Let's get real with that. Everybody duped, everybody undermapped, everybody glitched. I undermapped multiple tribes on their icebergs to get our dupe stuff. I undermapped server 412, which was, I think that was French Touch, I'm not too sure. But we undermapped 412, and that's where our original duping got started. Like, that's how we got our structures and stuff to dupe, because we saw their iceberg and it was just ridiculous. And we ended up undermapping them, got their duped gear. Me and a few other guys from 421 got their duped gear and started duping ourselves. We started off with the Thyla method and our allies Plague. They ended up telling us about it the day before it got patched. They duped 150 tech behes, gave us 5, which was absolutely awesome. And I just was totally grateful for even 5. But when we started duping structures mostly, obviously, because, you know, structures. And I ended up turning our base from straight metal, everything legit, 1200 bolts and turrets out the ass and everything. We really didn't worry about that because we already had a ton. And just duped, basically. Just turned our entire base into tech. Everything was just everywhere, and it was just awesome. And I remember one point of saying duping is more fun than grinding. Now that I think about it, duping was me duping right there, along with everybody else duping and saying that as well, ended Legacy. Like, it would still be going on, and we would still have everything popping if duping was not a thing. And I think it was an intentional act by the devs to do that. I'm not going to say it for a fact, but I think it was intentional, honestly. And yeah, that's about it. We just went on hella wars against French Touch. It was just so much fun. But here we are on the new servers. I went to Deddy for a bit. We did a few raids on Deddy, as you guys could see from my more recent videos. We went to Deddy, and now I'm on official one more time. And let's do it again, I guess. Let's get into some wars. We're not currently under a mega tribe yet. We're with the supremacy side, I guess you could say, but we're not really under them. Does that make sense? And we'll see how the future goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my story and everything that went along. Sorry I didn't have much clips. Obviously, this wasn't planned. I saw this on Crispy Josh's channel, which his link will be down in the description for his video. It's a lot more well put together. And that's basically it. That's my official, non-official, Deddy, single player, everything. What happened, PvE, PvP. Let me know what you guys think. Tell me you guys' story down in the comments if you guys want. And hopefully you guys went on to enjoy. Let's see a new era of Ark and we'll get it going, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.